What's up, guys? I hope you guys been having a wonderful day today. My name is Rene, and today I'm gonna be talking about my experience in South Korea. So no further ado, when I was in South Korea, it was a wonderful time. I was there for 11 days. So some of the things I did in South Korea was to walk around, did some little shopping, lots of eating, that's for sure. I did plenty of eating there. I spoke to a lot of the locals there. I did a couple tours, like the North Korean tour at the D.M.Z. I didn't get the chance to actually be at that blue room in the middle where you can actually step foot into North Korea. I didn't do that. I didn't realize that you have to actually plan ahead just to get into that tour, because they have to do all this background check just so you can do this type of tour. Now, the tour that I did was a third tunnel, that's what they call it. And in this third tunnel, what we did is, for the first, it was like probably a 50-minute drive when they picked us up at the hotel. Our tour guide took us and told us a little bit of how the South Korea, North Korea, their Korean War was all about, and what happened within the years about the 38 parallel, how the countries got divided, and how the North Korea is today, and how South Korea is also the present of how the whole culture has changed dramatically within those two countries. Now, one of the things I did see a lot was military. Yes, there is a lot of military there. When we went, we had to go through at least, I say, 2 or 3 checkpoints. They checked our passports. They checked what was in our bags. Their security is really high. Especially once you start driving there, you can really see the tension of the military. How there's so many there. And when they were explaining to us, they were telling how many North Korean soldiers are just across the border. Now, when we got there, once we we passed through all the security and we went to our first tour. One of the things we actually did was to see the third tunnel underground that the North Koreans actually built. Now, the reason they built this tunnel was to invade the South Korea. Now, one of the engineers that escaped North Korea was the one that was engineering about this third tunnel they were building. So he kind of exactly told the South Korea where exactly the tunnel was going to be at. So that's how they explained us how they were searching for it, and quite accurately, they actually got where the tunnel was. Now, of course, you have to wear hard helmets just to go down there. And of course, there's no cameras allowed or pictures. It's a really steep downhill. I mean, we're talking about at least, I don't know, 15% downgrade. That's what I thought. I mean, when I was going down, I saw the people walking up, and when they were really sweating, really tired, and I felt bad for those guys. But at the same time, I realized, hey, I'm gonna have to deal with that in a couple more minutes, because I'm gonna go way down there just to see what this tunnel looks like. So when we got to the bottom of the tunnel, after a couple minutes walking down, there was this small tunnel built by the North Koreans. You can tell they actually dug this tunnel, and this tunnel was probably, I'm not sure, a quarter mile long, and it was really small. I'm talking about like 4 feet by like 5 feet tall, and literally we had to crouch down and walk the whole way if you're not claustrophobic. So I did that. I was like, I gotta see a little bit of the other side. You really don't get to see it, but it was a great experience. I walked all the way. I saw a wall. There's a little piece of glass. You see through. You see a little bit of how the tunnel keeps extending, and it's just dark towards the end. You can't really see much. So we walked back. We started walking up the tunnel, and Jesus Christ, when I got out of that tunnel, I felt like I ran like 3 miles. And it was pretty bad. I had to get water right away. Also, one of the awesome things I got to see is through the binoculars. We were on top of this hill. I forgot the name of it. I'll put it down here, the name exactly where I was at. But in this hill, you actually get to see the North Korean side. And the thing is, what was so amazing is that you heard loudspeaker, someone talking, and I spoke to the tour guide and I asked her, what are they saying, or who's saying it, because I couldn't tell if it was the north side or it was the south side. And she said, oh, it's actually the north side saying something to us. And I'm like, well, what are they saying? They're saying that North Korea is a beautiful country, that the South Korea should go over there and live over there. Of course, it's not how it is. I know the third generation of the older people still have family there. And of course, they're beloveds of the probably sisters or brothers or mothers might still live in another country, and they really feel that that at one point North Korea and South Korea should come together. Okay, so back to South Korea. Now, one of the things that my wife did a lot was shopping. She went shopping on a shopping spree, really. And as I was working, I don't blame her. Now, when I did have some free time, she actually took me a little bit around of what she has already explored. And one of the cool things about South Korea is that if you look through Google Map, you really don't get to see the stores in the streets. I did some research before I went there just to see where I was going to stay and how the surroundings was going to look like, so I kind of have an idea where to go eat or what to go look around and do some sightseeing. And I just did not realize that when I got there, everything was underground. Literally underground. So when I got there, I saw it looked like it was going to be a terminal train under, like a metro. And since I wasn't really thinking of going a far distance, I wasn't curious just to look down those tunnels. But then after a while, one of the locals, he told me that actually those are stores that are down there. So I decided to go down there and we ended up finding out there's a bunch of stores there. It looked like a swamp me there, but there's a lot of South Korean things they have. There's so many beautiful things. It was quite amazing what kind of things you get to find there. It really is. Now, one of the things I did like was their food. Food was amazing there. Now, I had a lot of things there. I had like a kimchi, bulgogi, I think it's called bibimbap. I'm not sure. I also had japchae. Like the kimchi, it's like a fermented vegetable. Their japchae is also like stir-fried noodles. And their bulgogi is like marinated beef barbecue, which is really, really tasteful. I'm barely into barbecue. But their food is out of this world. Of course, it's way different what we eat here, because I'm Mexican, so I get to eat a lot of tacos, burritos, and the whole Mexican food. Also, what I got to experience in South Korea was it being temple. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Now, in this temple, a lot of the women from South Korea were dressed up. They were dressed up in the style of culture of hanbok. It's called Korean clothing. And traditionally, this is worn as a semi-formal or formal during like the festivities. It was one of the nice things I saw about the culture of how South Korea is. Now, of course, I'm not going to go through everything I did because there's a lot of things I actually did over there, but I kind of wish for everyone, if you guys have a chance or a dream or something you guys can look forward to, or don't even know where can you be your next vacation or trip, you guys can consider South Korea. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to my South Korean friends that I made out there. Thank you so much for making my experience there so great. Also, I want to thank the people that I work with over there. Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure meeting you guys. Also, I wanted to thank my wife, my beautiful wife. She was there with me. We had a great time together, and I just want to say thank you so much for being there with me. And also, if you guys want to hear more stories of what I have done in my life about my travels, I have done a lot, I'll tell you that. Just hit a like and subscribe, comment, and let me know what you guys think. What should I do differently, or what things I should do about these topics. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you guys soon.